Welcome back. I hope you're feeling refreshed and energized. We're going to be starting our afternoon session now. Stay tuned.
So today I'm going to talk to you about rewriting your 95%. So what's going on with your 95%? Let me talk to you about it today. So we have two minds. We have the creative mind and we have the subconscious mind. And one mind is dormant at the beginning stages of our life, which is the creative mind. It is dormant, while the subconscious mind kicks in from the time you're in our mother's womb right up to the age of 7 years old. So what happens during that process, right? And what does it mean for us? So I want you guys to imagine, right, when you get your new phone, there's always some preloaded apps, and if you don't download more apps, you're unable to use certain programs. And we are pretty much like the phone and our apps. We need programs to be uploaded into our operating system in order for us to work. But the catch here is, between the ages of 0 to 7, the subconscious mind is active. It is in control. It is what we call a state of hypnosis. A theta programming is occurring at this point of time. So all you can do at ages 0 to 7 years old is you are downloading programs, but it's not conscious. Means what you need to do is actually observe behaviors around you, observe what is happening, and it gets into your system. So who are you around between the ages of 0 to 7? So your first years of life, you're around your parents, right? Your grandparents, maybe the community that you work or live in, the church, maybe when you go out with your parents to, engagements. These are the people that you surround yourself with, and these are the programs you are downloading. But what happens if those downloaded programs that you have are negative? What happens then, right? If they are negative. So what do I mean by this? Say you grew up in a very abusive household, or you grew up in a household where your parents always fought. What would your impression of love be? Be very different compared to someone who grew up in a house where your parents were speaking to each other in a very respectful manner, correct? So imagine 0 to 7 years old, you have all these programs being downloaded. Maybe some of them are very, very negative. So what does this mean for you? When you reach age 7 and above, what happens is your conscious mind, or what we call the creative or habit mind, wakes up. It moves from its dormant to an active state. And when that happens, that is when you start having your wishes and your desires, right? And what you want to do when your wishes and desires come about is you want to actually activate them, right? So maybe you wish to be a fitness instructor, maybe you wish to be... Do you realize there's some things in life that you do, it's so difficult? Say for example, how many of us have made New Year resolutions, right? Yearly. I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to achieve this. And how many of us actually achieve it? And why is that? It's because our conscious mind and our subconscious mind are not aligned. So the programs we downloaded from age 0 to 7, and now our conscious mind is not in alignment. So there's going to be that struggle. So what can we do? Cheryl, you just told us that theta programming occurs from the age of 0 to 7. So, I'm definitely above 7. And I'm sure a lot of you are as well. So does this mean we are doomed? No. Alright. There is a way. There's 3 ways actually that you can actually get into your subconscious mind. Okay? Consciously. Alright, what do I mean by that? Okay, but before I go into that, right, I want to talk to you guys about when does our subconscious mind and when does our creative mind work? Alright, so how many percent of our lives are controlled by our subconscious and how many are controlled by our creative mind? You will be shocked to know a bulk of our life, which is the 95%, is controlled by the creative? Nope. It's the subconscious mind. And what does it mean to be controlled by the subconscious mind? Let me explain to you, alright? I'm sure many of you have been through this situation before. Have you ever, for those of you who are drivers, right, who drive your car, right, or ride your motorbike, have you ever been, you know, in the car and driving and then suddenly your mind goes somewhere else and you start thinking and you have no idea where the last 10 minutes went, but you reached your office? And you know, suddenly you get panicked like, oh my God, you know, what have I been doing? I'm so lucky I didn't be in an accident. What happened at that point of time is that your subconscious mind took away from the conscious mind, the creative mind. When you think, what happens is your subconscious mind takes over. So that program of driving takes over. Similarly, right, have you, I mean, those of you who have driven your bicycles before, right? You ride your bicycles. Have you forgotten how to ride your bicycle? Even though you've not done it like in ages? If right now I give you a bicycle, won't you be able to do it? I mean, how many people forget to walk? Why? Because it's in your subconscious system, right? You're tapping it from your subconscious to walk. You don't think about, okay, I'm going to walk now, and then you walk. You just walk because that program is already implanted in your mind. So you don't have to think much about it. So we often go on this autopilot mode like how we do in our cars constantly. The worst part is that most of the time we don't realize when this kicks in. And that is why it's very hard to tap into our subconscious mind and change things. But I have solutions for you. Okay. There's 3 ways that we can do it actually. Okay. The first is a state of hypnosis, right? You can do it through hypnosis. The second is repetition, and the last one is energy psychology. So what can you do with state of hypnosis? So remember I said to you, between the ages of 0 to 7, you're observing, downloading programs, and you're in what we call the state of theta programming. So when we sleep at night, we actually go into our subconscious. And we know we're going into our subconscious compared to the 95% of the day that we don't realize when we kick in to that mode. So at night when we sleep, we automatically, our conscious mind is taken over by our subconscious. This is our opportunity to rewrite our beliefs. How? Put your earphone on, right? Put your earphones on and listen to something that you want to try to change in terms of your programming. Okay. But before you do that, guys, you need to first identify what programs you already have uploaded in your operating system, right? Do you have the belief that you can never be an entrepreneur, for example? Do you have the belief that you're not beautiful? Do you have the belief that you are worthless? If that is your beliefs and you can identify it, then you know, okay, I'm going to download now a program on confidence. I'm going to download a program on esteem. I'm going to download a program, you get what I mean? Right? So at night when you sleep, put the earphones on, select a program that is going to help you rewrite those beliefs that you have. First step, all right? Second, repetition. Keep on doing something over and over and over again. That from the conscious, it becomes something subconscious. You don't really think about it anymore. I will give you a great example of this. I grew up eating sugar. Okay, most of us do. In my oats, whether it's condensed milk or white sugar or whatever sugar you want to call it, right? Not natural sugars. All my life I've eaten sugar. So I wanted to remove this really bad habit. And what did I do? Repetition on a daily basis. I removed sugar from the different aspects of my life, whether it was from, it started off with my oats, which is something I eat every day. I stopped putting condensed milk. You know, I've substituted with something else. I substituted with milk, for example, right? And then slowly I removed it from my cooking. Slowly I removed it from different parts of my life. And now I can't take sugar anymore. because it's become part of my subconscious program. When sugar reaches my mouth, it goes like, ugh, right? And it's not something that I consciously think about anymore, right? That, oh, I can't take sugar or I shouldn't take sugar. It's already in my mind. So I don't want to reach out for that bottle anymore, right? And the third one is energy psychology. What you give out is what you get. It's like a mirror, right? If I'm looking at a mirror right now, whatever I say to the mirror is going to come back right to me. So if you understand this concept in life, all right, you will have better programs downloaded on a daily basis for you. So I've given you 3 tips in order to rewrite your beliefs. Change your beliefs, guys. Change your life. Bye.
Hello, this is Lafifa Jamal. I am the President of Bangladesh Women in Technology, and currently I am serving as a professor at the Department of Robotics and Mechatronics Engineering, University of Dhaka. Thank you very much for inviting me as a speaker at the world's largest tech conference, ADAPT International Convention 2020. Today, I would like to focus on the power of technology to empower women. So why this topic is important? I would like to start my talk with some statistics. Women perform 66% of world's work. Women produce approximately 50% of the food, yet they earn 10% of the income and own only 1% of the property. Increasing the economic empowerment of women is essential to growing economic opportunity for women and their families and ending poverty and hunger. Women in emerging markets reinvest 90% of every additional income in their families' education, health, and nutrition. However, barriers such as financial exclusion and ingrained stereotypes continue to hold women back. Technology in its various forms, including information and communication technology, continues to redefine and revolutionize the way we all live and work. Access to technology plays a large part in cementing gender inequality, especially in developing countries. So the global statistics shows that currently 40% of women is in global workforce and 17% of them are ICT specialists. There are 19% pay gap between genders, and currently 30% female students are STEM graduates, but only 3% students consider tech career as their first choice. So actually we are way behind. So like in Bangladesh, we have around 25% students who are in academia, who are pursuing their undergraduate studies in ICT related field, but only 12% of them are in profession. So there are more than 50% dropout from education to career. We all know about SDG 5, gender equality. ICT can provide great opportunities for gender equality by enabling everyone to have access to the same online resources and opportunities. ICT can enable women to gain a stronger voice in their communities, their government, and the global level. It can provide new opportunities for women's economic empowerment by creating business and employment opportunities for women. The gender gap in access to ICTs needs to be urgently addressed if the benefits of ICTs to gender equality and gender empowerment are to be achieved. Digital skills are very much important. digital literacy has become prerequisite for employment opportunities in nearly all sectors, not only in ICT sectors, in all sectors. 90% of workers in large business and 85% in medium-sized business use the internet as part of their jobs. So whatever the sector they are working, they need internet and they need ICT skills. Especially in pandemic time, we found that the digital transformation was very high. It was very high speed. Workers with no computer experience earn around 10% less than those with the most basic computer skills. Actually, the data shows that it is 10%, but nowadays it is very hard to get a job without the knowledge of computing. So we must have the computing skills. In Europe, 12 million more digitally unskilled women than men. ICT creators are shaping up our societies. By 2050, half of the jobs that currently exist will be replaced by new jobs that are not currently exist. The fourth industrial revolution is bringing advanced robotics, autonomous transport, AI, and machine learning, all of which will have a major impact on the future labor market. Along with these challenges come the opportunities. The use of technology therefore have the potential to support upskilling and productivity enhancement. And also we have lack of role model in women in ICT. Positive role models have also proven to be a powerful tool in eliminating gender gaps, eliminating gender stereotypes, especially those relating to the ICTs and women in STEM, including both perceived role models in the media as well as real-life mentors and success stories. We must expose girls and boys to role models in non-traditional fields, such as female engineers or female caregivers, and give women the chance to tell their own stories throughout different programs. ICTs can also help to bridge the skills gap by extending the reach of education and literacy to a population that was previously excluded due to a lack of infrastructure or political instability. To address skill gaps, we need to understand and teach the skills that women of all social classes need to take full advantage of ongoing technological advances. With the automation of industry, we must help women to learn new skills and competencies so they can adjust to the changes in these industries or retrain to take up positions in other sectors. And also we need to overcome the general digital divide. Increasing access to online resource is crucial to ensuring women and girls are not left behind in an increasingly digital world and can, in some cases, catalyze women's interest in the opportunities offered by technologies and ICTs. And we also need to make the internet safe. So, nowadays, cybercrime, cyberbullying is a very common scenario. So, to increase the participation of women in digital world, so we need to ensure the internet place, the cyber world is safe. Whether in person or online, women everywhere have experienced some problems in different ways. And with all the new ways, the internet has opened avenues of communication. Online harassment is more prevalent than ever. 90% of harassment and abusive language in online space is mostly aimed at women. Women are often targeted simply because they are women. They don't have any other reason to be attacked. So we need to have some policies to ensure safe internet for all. Safe internet can increase the participation of women in ICT. So if we want to see that why there are underrepresentation of women in ICT sectors, so there are a lot of reasons. If I want to point out some basic reasons, we can point out like the gender bias in selecting undergraduate studies, social and structural barriers such as dominant male culture, difficulties in balancing work and family responsibilities, intimidated by technology, discriminatory organizational practices, lack of role models, lack of mentoring, lack of networking opportunities, and so on. So actually we need to have some initiatives to bring back, so to bring more women in technology. So like we need to have some programs to change girls and young women's self-concept. We can have some programs to widen girls and young women's aspirations to consider STEM as a career. So if we can ensure a balanced environment in workplace, balanced environment in the society, and if we can overcome the gender stereotypes, we can bring more women in technology, and it will actually ensure women empowerment in our society. Thank you.
Hi, so how can you get leads from social media and increase your income today? Okay, first let's answer this important question. What will get you more income? Now, is it about having a better brain? No, because if yes, then all the professors in the world would be multimillionaires, right? But is it about having all the knowledge in the world that you need? Not really, because then everyone with a degree would be super duper rich right now. So is it about being first? First in the market, first in anything? No, it's not. It's actually about having the right authority and influence online. Because without authority or influence, no matter how much, how smart you are and how great your product or service is, or how knowledgeable you are, no one is going to listen. Okay? So how do you build our authority and influence from obscurity, from zero? All right? You see, the thing is, I'm going to share with you a story, and it is my personal story. I hope I can do that. You see, when the pandemic hit a few months ago, what happened was that I actually lost my income because the company that I was with was hit really bad. And I knew if I wanted to survive the season, that I had to pivot online really fast. But I was literally starting from zero because I rarely posted online. I had no presence online. But at the same time, I learned that our biggest growth is on the other side of our biggest fear. And mine at the time was actually being on video. I absolutely am horrified to be on video. You see me talking here and now, and you think that probably she's done this forever. But believe me, just a few months ago, I could not string 10 words together on video. I would stumble. I had like massive, like huge doubts about my ability to speak on camera. I hated being on video. So in June of this year, I took a pledge to be on live, Facebook Live, every single day for the next 365 days. Because I just wanted to see what happens if I lean into my fear. What happens if I try to bet for my biggest growth? It was pure hell, okay? And I really hated it in the beginning because no one was watching, no one was paying attention. But I kept on at it because I pledged to myself. I made a promise. And exactly 2 months after that, I was named 70 Rising Personalities on LinkedIn Malaysia. And because I also posted on Facebook, I grew a sizable community on Facebook as well. And fast forward 7 months post-COVID, I've already served over 500 students with my online courses on how to grow your branding on social media. And these courses have benefited my students a lot because they are seeing massive growth, over 200% increase in the first 14 days of like doing it. And this all came from practicing the steps that I'm going to share with you immediately right now. So I hope that you can copy this down really fast, because I'm going to share with you exactly step by step what I did from zero obscurity, from literally no one online, not posting for years, to building a sizable community on Facebook, having served over 500 students and counting, and being named LinkedIn Personality of 2020. So I'm going to share with you what I did. Okay, are you ready? I hope you are. All right. Okay. So I'm going to share with you one secret, how to double your leads within the next 3 months. And I promise you, if you do this, you're not going to have even enough time to answer to all of those leads, because that is literally what happened to me. Okay? So the first secret is just one secret, and it's enough, because that is what I did. But the key is in the execution. So the one secret that I'm giving today with you that you have to apply immediately, promise that you apply this immediately, is that you have to post every single day on social media. Post every single day on social media. But as I said, posting might be easy, especially if you're used to it. However, the execution is the key. And the way you execute this is focus on this one guide. All right? Are you ready? All right, write this down. The guide is an acronym, and it starts with the word serve. Serve. S-E-R-V-E. Serve. Okay? Because when I started online, I knew that how I was struggling, a ton of other people was having the same problems. And how I solved mine, I knew that a lot of people was also looking for the information. Now, what skills and knowledge that you have, other people are looking for you and your expertise online. They just can't find you yet. All right? So the best way for you to like serve them is to go through this guide. Because I know that, when I say you have to like post every single day, and then a lot of people are going to ask me like, but what do I post about? And if I post, is there anyone going to see? And what's the point when nobody likes them? Understand that likes and engagements are vanity metrics. All right? It means that even if nobody likes it in the beginning, what is important is that you keep on keeping on. And I promise you, you will see a massive big difference in your engagements, especially in your leads and in your income. That is a given, right? That is a proven. It has happened for me. It has happened for like a ton of students of mine. So remember I said the acronym SERVE? We're going to start with the word S. S stands for solve a problem. Now, what does that mean? All right, it means that everyone online, they're browsing online, they're looking for solutions, right? They're looking for solutions. They're browsing, they're probably looking for entertainment or education, and they're looking for solutions. And if you can figure out what is their core problem that you can serve, that you can just make their life a bit easier or answer their questions faster, and bring it to them as fast as possible with as less pain as possible, believe me, they will come back to you. So the first one, S, is for solve a problem for your market. Always think about serve. That's why the acronym is the word serve. a lot of people go online, and when they want to make a sale, the first thing they think about is like, I'm going to piss this up, people are going to see it, they're going to buy it. It doesn't work like that. As I said, you have to build authority and influence. But the key baseline to authority and influence is to establishing a base level of trust. Without trust, even if people take attention like to you, listen to what you have to say, they might not buy from you, or they might not engage you because there's no trust. We will buy from people that we like and that we trust. All right, so how to build trust? The first way is to solve their problems. All right, understandably, you can't solve everyone's problem. However, you can solve a certain portion of it, which you have the expertise to. All right, so figure out what is their key pain points and what can you do about it, and serve them up. Even if initially you have to do it for free, meaning you're giving the informative posts, real thoughts about like the industry, serve up the information so that they see you as the authority and the key opinion leader in that industry. All right, okay, so the next word is E, which is explain your industry. Right, now a lot of our customers, they have questions, but they don't dare ask because they're afraid people might come on too strong and like selling to them. So what you need to do is explain, the questions that they don't dare to ask. Maybe you can build up a frequently asked question. What are the 25 most frequently asked questions in your industry but people don't dare ask? So post that as a topic or as a talk. All right, the next word is R, and R stands for reveal your secrets. A lot of people are afraid to do this because they're afraid of like, people are going to copy me, or like, I'm gonna expose myself. Understand that when you pull back the curtain on how you do business, on how you think, of how the process is, you are actually generating trust, because people feel that when you're showing your secrets, you don't have to show all, but you show some. That builds trust. That builds trust equity with your customers. They feel that they can trust you because the way you're relating to them is raw and real, and that's valuable. Right, the next word is V, and V stands for visualize. Now, sometimes when we go a little bit factual, it can be a bit dry. So what you can mix it up with is use your imagination. For example, you can share or ask like a survey. You can post up 2 pictures. Okay, which one is your favorite home idea? Just to find out what the market is currently thinking. What are your target customers looking for? Are they looking for landed? Are they looking for apartment? What are they looking for? You can pose it as a survey question. People love to participate in surveys. They love to give their opinions. Ask the right way, right? And finally, E. The word E, serve. The last word is E. And that is the most surprising, but the most important of all, is the key for everything for me. And I hope you take note of this. E is for embrace your quirks. Means that you have to be real and raw. Right? I know that's like a lot of like, lizard brain activity here. Oh my god, no, I can't show my true self because then people will judge me. Chill. People judge anyway. So it's better for you to be real to who you are. Now let's just be real for a minute. There's a lot of competition online. So how are you going to stand out from the crowd? By being the same like everyone else, by being vanilla, just the same flavor as anyone else, just another agent, just another person online. No. COVID has pushed everyone online. And people online are looking for people who they can relate to, and it's hard to relate to someone who seems so businessy, so fake. People are looking for real connections online. Build relationships, and from relationships you can get like good long-term sustainable partnerships, sustainable leads, people that will refer to you to other people because they trust you, and you don't even have to meet them face to face because it's all done online. But the first thing is you have to be real. Okay? And what does that mean? give them a chance to get to know you. It doesn't mean that you have to like tell all your grandmother stories all in one post. It'll be too overwhelming even for your own grandmother, okay? But what it means is stand out from the crowd and differentiate yourself by being real, by being authentic, by being you, by being honest. And you can share how weird you are, how funny you are. And I know it's scary in the beginning because you don't know who you're sharing to, and a big part of you will feel like, oh my god, I'm gonna be judged. And believe me, I know how that feels like. For the longest time, that was a thing that held me back. But once I realized that people on the other side of the screen here is just exactly like me. They're looking for a real connection. They're looking for somebody real to guide them through this. They're looking for a friend online. And once I understood that, and once I broke down my barrier, people broke down theirs. And trust begins to happen. And that's when real relationships happen. And that's when your best leads will come in. Because then they will come on board as your friends. And they would never question about your integrity, your trust, your authority. Because it's all there. Alright? So I hope these tips help. I hope you run with it. I'm wishing you all the best. And I promise you, if you follow, you will not recognize your life in just 2 months or 60 days. Catch you on the other side.
আমাদের দেশে সাইবার ক্রাইমে বেশি হওয়ার অন্যতম কারণ হচ্ছে যে এখানে মানুষের টেকনোলজিক্যাল নলেজটা অনেক কম এবং তারা জানে না কিভাবে অনলাইনে নিজেদেরকে নিরাপদ রাখতে হয় এবং যখন কোনো ধরনের সাইবার ক্রাইমের শিকার হবে বা কোনো ধরনের প্রিকশনস কীভাবে কী নিতে হবে এই সম্পর্কে সঠিক ধারণা থাকার না কারণে সাইবার ক্রাইম ভিকটিমদের ভিকটিমাইজ হওয়ার সংখ্যাটা অনেক বেড়ে যায়। আমাদের দেশে আসলে যে ধরনের সাইবার ক্রাইম সবচাইতে বেশি হয় সেটা হচ্ছে ব্ল্যাকমেইলিং, ধরেন কোনো ধরনের রিলেশনশিপ ছিল সেই রিলেটেড সমস্যা অ্যান্ড তাদের জন্য বিভিন্ন ধরনের সাইবার বুলিং হয়, তাদের হ্যারাসমেন্ট হয়, তারা বিভিন্ন রকম ফ্রডলেন্সের শিকার হয়, তারা নানা ধরনের ল্যাক অফ টেকনোলজিক্যাল নলেজের জন্য তারা বিভিন্ন রকম সাইবার ক্রাইমের শিকার হচ্ছে এবং দেখা যাচ্ছে যে সবচাইতে বেশি যে কারণটা হচ্ছে সেটা হচ্ছে অনলাইনে তারা সঠিকভাবে নিরাপদে থাকতে পারছে না, এই জন্যই সবচাইতে বেশি সাইবার ক্রাইম ভিকটিম হয়ে থাকে। সাইবার ক্রাইম ঠেকানোর অন্যতম উপায় হচ্ছে অ্যাওয়ারনেস বিল্ড আপ করা এবং আমরা যেই কাজটি করার চেষ্টা করছি সবসময় আমরা বিশ্বাস করি যে শুধুমাত্র অ্যাওয়ারনেস বিল্ড আপ করার মাধ্যমে 60% সাইবার ক্রাইম কমিয়ে আনা পসিবল। এছাড়া আমরা অবশ্যই যে জিনিসটি আমরা করতে পারি সেটি হচ্ছে আমরা আমাদের প্রান্তিক পর্যায়ে প্রচুর পরিমাণ অ্যাওয়ারনেস ক্রিয়েট করতে পারি এবং মিনিমাম ইন্টারনেটে কিভাবে নিরাপদ থাকতে হবে এই জিনিসগুলো যদি ছড়িয়ে দিতে পারি, এতে করে আমাদের সাইবার ক্রাইম ভিকটিমদের সংখ্যা কমিয়ে আনা পসিবল। এবং এছাড়া যে অ্যাওয়ারনেসের কোনো বিকল্প নাই, কজ ইন্টারনেটের দুনিয়া প্রতিদিনই নতুনভাবে আপগ্রেডেড হচ্ছে এবং আমরা সেই আপগ্রেডেড যা হচ্ছে সেটার সাথে তাল রেখে যদি অ্যাওয়ারনেস করতে পারি এতে করে আমরা ভিকটিমদের সংখ্যা কমিয়ে আনতে পারবো এবং সবাইকে একটি নিরাপদ ইন্টারনেট উপহার দিতে পারবো। একজন ব্যক্তি যখন সাইবার ক্রাইমের শিকার হয় তখন তার প্রথম যে কাজটি করা উচিত সেটি হচ্ছে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীকে অবহিত করা, এবং একজন যখন সাইবার ক্রাইমের ভিকটিম আমাদের কাছে আসে আমরা যেই সমস্যাটি দেখতে পাই সেটি হচ্ছে তারা সাধারণত খুব ভীত সন্ত্রস্ত থাকে, তারা সহজে সকলের সাথে কমিউনিকেট করতে চায় না, তারা যেই সাইবার ক্রাইমটিকে ফাইট করবে সেই মেন্টাল অবস্থা তাদের মধ্যে থাকে না, এবং তারা যে কাজটি করে সেটি হচ্ছে তারা জিনিসটি চেপে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করে এবং একা একা ব্ল্যাকমেইলের শিকার হয় বা এই ধরনের হ্যারাসমেন্টের শিকার হয়। কিন্তু তারা যদি পরিবারের সহায়তা নেয় বা অন্যান্য ক্ষেত্রে হচ্ছে পরিবারকে হচ্ছে বলে বা আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর সহায়তা নেয়, সেই ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু এই সমস্যা থেকে তাদের মুক্তি পাওয়া সম্ভব। কিন্তু তাদের এই যে ফাইট করার ইচ্ছা না থাকা, পারিবারিক এবং পারিপার্শ্বিক সহায়তা না পাওয়া, আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর কাছে যাওয়ার জন্য তাদের যে অনিচ্ছা এবং হচ্ছে সামাজিক যে নেগেটিভিটিটা থাকে যে তুমি কেন এটা শিকার হলে, এই ধরনের সমস্যার কারণে তারা এই সাইবার ক্রাইম ভিকটিমরা সঠিকভাবে হচ্ছে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীর কাছে যায় না, এবং তারা তখন হচ্ছে এই ভিকটিমাইজ দিনের পর দিন হতে থাকে এবং তারা নানা রকম সমস্যার সম্মুখীন হয়। আমরা সবসময় ভিকটিমদেরকে বলে থাকি আপনারা যখনই সাইবার ক্রাইমের শিকার হবেন বা এই ধরনের কোনো লক্ষণ দেখা যাবে আপনারা অবশ্যই আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনীকে অবহিত করবেন, কজ আমাদের দেশে যে আইন শৃঙ্খলা বাহিনী আছে তাদের পূর্ণ সক্ষমতা আছে তাদেরকে টেকনিক্যাল অংশে সহায়তা করার এবং আইনি সহায়তা করার। আমরা সবসময় অ্যাওয়ারনেসের দিকে জোর দিই, কজ অ্যাওয়ারনেসের মাধ্যমেই সম্ভব এই সমস্যাকে অনেক অংশেই হচ্ছে প্রতিরোধ করা। এছাড়া হচ্ছে আমরা সবসময় বলি যে নারী ও শিশুদের জন্য ইন্টারনেটকে হচ্ছে নিরাপদ করার লক্ষ্যে আমরা সকলে মিলে কাজ করে যাচ্ছি, এবং আমরা এখন পর্যন্ত প্রতিদিনই হচ্ছে প্রচুর সাইবার ভিকটিমদেরকে প্রয়োজনীয় সহায়তা প্রদান করছি, এবং হোপ আমরা আস্তে আস্তে আরও এই সংখ্যাটি বাড়াবো, এবং আমরা চেষ্টা করব যে অ্যাওয়ারনেসের মাধ্যমে যতদূর সম্ভব আমাদের এই বার্তাগুলো কীভাবে ইন্টারনেটে নিরাপদ থাকতে হয় এগুলো পৌঁছে দেওয়ার।
Hello everyone, good evening and Assalamu alaikum. This is architect Jashia Noshin Chowdhury, founder of Chokat and vice president of Youth Hub. Actually, I never knew that I wanted to be an architect, but I love innovation, love to experiment with new ideas, and I always wanted to work for people and for society that made their life better. And we know that architecture is for people, which provides shelter, supports all types of human activities. But most of the people do not understand the importance and the effect of architecture in our life. Architecture does not mean just a building. It has a great impact in our life. It influences people, affects the community around us, affected on economy, and as well as environment. Architecture has the power to change our life. Today, I'm gonna talking about how architecture influences and affects our life. If we talk about a building, it must be able to inspire people. So first of all, it should be good looking, because if it is not good looking, it will not be able to inspire people, those who live inside and those who look at the building from outside. On the other hand, building space has a specific impact on the state of people's mind and mood. We are constantly in and around, surrounded by buildings, and these spaces affect how we feel. A dark space can leave us feeling cold, dampening our mood. And the size and the layout of a space has also a great impact. It provides us the sense of that place. Above all, it must be functional and user-friendly as well. If we talk about the National Parliament building in Bangladesh, designed by architect Louis Khan, it's a huge structure inside and outside. When we visit the building and enter into it, it feels great. There are another example by the Roof Mosque, which is situated Uttara in Dhaka, designed by architect Mirna Tabassum. It's a beautiful structure. It looks simple, which is not like the other typical mosques, but its scale, height, and natural daylight material gives us spiritual feelings that gives us peace. So there are a lot of examples of buildings, beautiful buildings in this world. So we can say that walking in city surrounded by beautiful architecture, beautiful buildings gives us joy and fulfillment. While old, dark, obscure architecture takes us depression, cold attitude, and dampening our mood. Numerous studies show that buildings can impact on person's health also. It also influences psychologically. In this pandemic, we'll have to spend most of the time in our home. So I think we can understand the importance and impact that how we feel to stay in the same place. And another important thing is material, which is the primary element to construct a building. So it must be environmental friendly and economical, because unnecessary spending money is not a good idea. And using environmental friendly construction material is essential, because the way we build our buildings and design our cities affect on the climate, and that affects on our life. So building takes many years to design and build, and it has been around for decades and sometimes for centuries. So the impact of the buildings have around the building really matters. And another important issue is construction and the renovation of the building uses precious natural resources. Then when we in use, buildings are responsible for a significant proportion of all our carbon emissions. 1/3 of the global carbon dioxide emission are from our built environment. And building use 40% global energy, 40% global resources, consumes 25% of global water, which results climate change. And globally, it is a similar picture, and the numbers are projected to rise the coming years. So it is alarming. So what should we do as an architect? As an architect, we should design something which is environmental friendly and energy efficient. And we always should be aware of green environment. We believe that nature is our friend, and human beings become free when they are in nature. Nature boosts our immune system, reduces stress, improves our health. As a humanity, we strive to live in harmony with nature. But what happens when our very innovations use technology in ways that hinders the nature's beauty? Many of our urban innovations do a lot to improve life in short term, but then emit side effects that hinder life in the long term. Dwellings that blend with nature, housing structures that do not disturb the environment is the need of the hour. If a two-way relationship between nature and the built environment can be designed so that the two work together to support each other, then as a humanity, we will experience greater benefits, both in short and long term. Thank you everyone for listening me. Hope you have enjoyed. Thanks Adapt Convention for giving me this opportunity. Thank you everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Javita Nauth. I am a second year graduate student at the Columbia University School of Social Work. I am an advanced clinical track student focusing on mental health and disability, and I am so excited and happy to be speaking with you today. Today, I want to share with you the importance of technology and mental health. I would have to say, in our current time of COVID-19, we have come to depend solely on technology, with classes moving away from the traditional in-person setting to online learning. Patients being scheduled for telemedicines instead of our normal routine visits. Our entire way of communication has shifted to rely solely on technology. Having a strong Wi-Fi connection and basically attending Zoom meetings. One of the pros of this technological shift is that it has opened up new platforms for mental health care. Persons can now access mental health tools such as downloading wellness check apps on their smartphones, computers, tablets, and electronic devices. Did you know that we recently celebrated on October 10th, World Mental Health Day? One of the blessings that the pandemic has given us is shining the spotlight on the importance of our mental health and how important it is to take care of it. However, on the flip side, using technology, especially in our times of the coronavirus, has resulted in us feeling deprived of human connection. Zoom fatigue, feeling a sense of no more privacy, increased anxiety, and concerns around providing for our family. And it has highlighted the gap in the marginalized communities who might not have access to Wi-Fi, a computer, and or a smartphone. What can you do to start balancing your technological intake and increase your mental health wellness? You can start by doing a social media diet. Turn off your social media for some time. Take a good break from it and get a good night's rest. Spend time practicing self-care, like cooking, baking, making art, volunteering, spending time with your family, and my very favorite, sleeping. Whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself, listen to your body and do it and address it. I hope that as we move forward with our lives, we remember that these small tips can make a big difference, and we can start practicing and make them into habits. So we are more intentional in our efforts to take care of our mental health and still have technology as an ally. Thank you so much. Be safe and be well.
According to a new report by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the suicide rate among people aged 10 to 24 has increased by 56% between 2007 and 2017. Social media might be fueling the increase of mental illness among the first truly digital generation. The Pew Research Center found that 45% of teens aged 13 to 17 said they use the internet almost constantly. Overuse of social media can cause loneliness, depression, anxiety, as what the Anxiety and Depression Association of America has reported. These findings are coming together with all other evidence that show that we're not supporting our youth in developmentally appropriate ways. Hello everyone, I'm Krystel Nacua, co-founder of IATID and Northern Mindanao Regional Director of Youth Hub in the Philippines. I'm here to talk about how we could instill passion among the under-challenged youth and ways we could save them. I grew up from a household that instilled in me and my siblings the passion for life and living with a purpose. As early as 18, I started a couple of businesses with my family with the core value of helping our community. I want to inspire the youth in my country since I've noticed that a high number of our youth fall into depression, suicide, unwanted pregnancies, vices, and bad influences because they are under challenged and haven't had the opportunity and the environment to explore and grow to their potential. So over the years, I considered my parents and their ways as the best example of responsible parenthood. From them, I draw this inspiration of 3 things that we could do to help our youth. Firstly, we must believe in our youth. As a popular quote from the Filipino national hero Jose Rizal goes, "Ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng ating bayan," or the youth is the hope of our nation. We should indeed believe in the power of our young minds. There is so much potential in them, but were kept deep within because no one just believed in them. For the older generation, the youth today are lazy, rude, disrespectful, entitled, difficult to manage, and bad at taking criticism. Well, let me ask you this. Who brought them up? So we need to get rid of these narratives and start believing our youth more. When we believe in them, they will be more motivated to take action of the things they care about. We should help them eliminate their self-doubt simply by saying, "I believe in you." This leads to the second point, which is to provide them with the right tools. We should aim to provide the right environment and tools for the youth to grow their potentials. I remember growing up, my parents would of course buy us toys as kids, but more often than not, they would buy us tools to build our own toys. That made us very creative and explore many different ways and learn how we could build our own stuff. So according to psychologist Jeffrey Lockman, in his study among children aged 0 to 2, he said that spatial learning abilities seem to set this foundation for later success in STEM-type disciplines. The results of his study suggest that children are becoming more automatic and strategic in how they solve problems the more they use tools in early play. In the same way, instead of spoon-feeding the youth with laid out plans that they should follow, let us allow them to explore by giving them tools like books, education, and hobbies. Instead of giving them gadgets before they could even speak, allow them to be curious and provide an environment that evokes their creativity. In line with this thought, Youth Hub, the organization that I am representing, is a global platform for young people focusing on innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship. Youth Hub is working hard to prepare the young people to become productive and engaged citizens and to educate our school students, especially girls, in these areas. One of the reasons why I joined Youth Hub is to help give access to the youth of my country the right tools that they need to live passionate lives and be productive citizens of my country. My third and last point would be that we should teach the youth self-discipline. Self-discipline would help kids delay gratification, resist unhealthy temptations, and tolerate the discomfort needed to reach their long-term goals. From choosing to do their homework instead of playing video games, to resisting an extra hour on social media before bedtime, self-discipline is the key to help kids become responsible adults. It's important to give kids the skills they need to develop self-discipline, as well as the opportunity to practice making good decisions. Establishing routines would be a good start to teach self-discipline. When they know what they're supposed to be doing, they'll be less likely to procrastinate. Creating rules and explaining them well also helps. So give consequences for bad behaviors and reward and praises for good ones. There are many other ways to teach self-discipline. And if a child grows up with this very important skill, he will for sure get ahead in life. In summary, belief, providing the right tools, and self-discipline are the keys to bringing out the best in our youth today. We at Youth Hub aim to provide the right tools and environment for the younger generation to be able to cultivate and explore their potentials. And I encourage you to do the same in your communities. In conclusion, I would like to quote Franklin Roosevelt with his iconic line, "We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future." Thank you.
嗨，各位线上的朋友们，大家好，我叫 Leong， 来自 IQI 的 GVP， 很开心今天可以在线上和大家做分享。那大家看到我主题吗？我今天想要跟大家分享的就是成功中介的三大要素。很多人会在想，成功中介是一个怎样的成功法呢？是赚很多钱，还是有钱有闲，还是你赚过一次大钱？我不晓得你成功中介的想法是什么。当然问我觉得在房地产 这个行业，成功的中介是你有钱有闲，你可以过着你想要过的生活，没人可以侵犯到你的生活，没有压力，没有约束，那个就是一个成功中介的生活圈子。那么很多人对成功这两个字他抱有不一样的想法，有的人要赚100万，有的人要赚1000万，有的人要的不是钱，有的要的是他可以创造，他有什么创举他就觉得是成功。那我个人觉得成功是你的快乐，一个快乐的人生你怎么去建立。那么成功也不意味着你今天选择了一件对的事情你就会成功。我个人觉得成功是因为你把很多的小细节做好，慢慢累积，慢慢累积，慢慢累积，它才可以变成一个大成功。所以今天在这里线上，我想要跟大家分享的成功的3大要素，我们来看一下第一样，心态。那为什么成功中介的3大要素，心态是排第一个呢？因为如果没有对的想法跟心态去决定一件事情的话，你不可能后面的事情要做好。所以在这里想跟大家分享一下，记住，我们要选择一开始做对的事，而不是把对的事情做好，这个是有差别的哦。我们一开始做对的事情，就代表我们一劳永逸，因为事情摆在前面是对的，后来发生的事情就依然它也跟着对。如果我们的出发点它是错的，你走到后面你才把它去纠正，把它变成对，你会很辛苦，你会很压力，你会很难堪。所以记住，线上的朋友把这句话记上来哦，要做对的事情，而不是把事情做对。OK， 所以今天你的心态在调整进来房地产的时候，你应该是要了解房地产怎样可以帮你创造未来的生活，你要搞清楚。我进来房地产的这个领域，房地产的那个收入是怎么来的？房地产是怎样可以让我创造财富？房地产是怎样可以挣钱，是一个挣钱工具，我们必须要了解。当了解了以后，我们去定位好自己，那个是我们心态所要去调整。哦，原来是这样子做，而不是我听到它很好赚，他讲很好赚，可以挣很多钱，我也跟着去。你去你要知道自己是去什么地方。难道人家讲去那个荷兰可以挣钱，你也跟着去荷兰吗？对不对？所以心态是你要纠正好，我进来这个行业我能做什么。那不管是房地产也好，各行各业一开始的心态是很重要的，我们称作为初心。初心，你一开始你要怎么跑？你有没有认定这个事业就是你的未来？有了一个这样子的定位哦，我告诉你，你在接下来发展的这个路上哦，你会很轻松的，因为你会发现，任何来的那些工作压力，任何来的逆境，任何来的不顺心，都可以迎刃而解，因为你的初衷，你的心态定位已经做好了。所以你在接受这种任何负面、任何影响的时候，你都可以保持着一个最佳的状态。OK， 所以第二样东西，我想要跟大家分享的是什么？状态。我刚才说的状态。那状态是什么？状态是你是否带着快乐的心去接受每一件事，你是否带着快乐的心去面对每一个人，你是否带着快乐的心去学习房地产的 A to Z。 很多人在想，在学这些东西因为要学这个所以才会挣钱，我去做。当我在做的过程中，我遇到很多难题，遇到不顺心的状态，我就会开始埋怨。 如果你埋怨去做一件事情，你觉得埋怨的心态去做事会把事情做好吗？不可能的。所以你的状态你必须要调整，你要用快乐的方式去进行。快乐不意味着你一定会得到很好的结果，但是你快乐的去进行每一件事情，去学习每一件事情，去尝试每一件事情，你都会在每一个过程中得到启发，得到经验值，得到想法。所以状态很重要，不能带着自己的情绪来到你的学习环境，不能带着自己的情绪来到自己的事业。所以自己的情绪要拿掉，要放成一个很对的状态，快乐的状态，还有很强的正能量的状态来去做事。因为负面新闻太多，因为不好的因素进来太多，你必须要时时刻刻的去 motivation 你自己，要去很好的去告诉自己，在这个行业我要用什么方式去处理，我要怎么去做事。所以时时刻刻要保持在快乐的状态去面对每一个人，这样可以理解吗？所以状态是我们成功中间的第二大要素。第三大要素是什么？第三大要素就是态度了。那态度跟状态有不一样吗？它有差别的。今天我跟大家分享的这三大要素也是成功里面的小元素，你把它做好，你就会成功。当然，这3个小元素是你做好了，你还要做很多小细节，你才可以成功了。我是要你把这一 part 小细节把它做好上来。那我们看一下态度需要怎样的态度？态度跟状态有什么不一样？状态是你 stick 在一个很快乐，还有很正能量的方式去做事情，去接纳，去给跟接纳都要用很快乐的方式去进行。态度是我今天对这件事情的态度是否都保持着正能量的想法，我是否做这件事情的态度是没有去想后先去做先，我对这件事情的态度是否都保持乐观，我对这件事情的态度是否都保持着大家有空间可以去进行，我的态度是否对？你在想每一件事情的时候，总是有天使跟恶魔。记住，天使跟恶魔往往常存在我们的潜意识里面，而往往也有很多人不知道什么时候魔鬼出来，什么时候天使出来。我们要懂得去分辨什么是天使，什么是恶魔。而在这个两者里面我们要去取决，永远正能量是走在前面的，因为有一句话叫做邪不能胜正所以你的态度保持在对的状态，永不放弃的状态，坚持的状态，你去做，你就可以把事情做到一个结果，一个好的结果。所以以上是我所分享的这个成功中介的3大要素。第一大要素，心态，了解方向，定位好自己。第二，状态，快乐的进行，认真的分享，认真的做事。第三，态度，坚定自己的步伐，一步一脚印的去完成，学习做，重复的做，细心做，跟强化的去做。leverage 你的能力，去杠杆你的资源，去杠杆你所学习到的东西，怎样可以把它最大化？我们要把它最大化，去照顾每一个人，去分享给每一个人，让每一个人都回来照顾你，这样子好不好？我今天分享到这里，谢谢大家。
Hello everyone, my name is Leo Lo, founder of Asia Proptech. Today I'm so glad to share with you guys about what Proptech is and also the Proptech trend in this year and also coming years. So before saying the trend of Proptech, I'll give you a very brief introduction about Proptech. So Proptech means property and technology. That's the two things combined. Any technologies or any business model innovation that can help or facilitate the real estate and construction activities can be regarded as Proptech. So no matter you use internet economy, the platform economy, blockchain, AI, or anything like construction tech like modular housing, BIM, building information modeling, AR, VR, mixed reality, anything that can help the industry can be regarded as PropTech. So we discussed PropTech for about 10 years. So you can name even co-working, co-living operators as PropTech operators, like WeWork, for example. So they started the business model as early as the beginning of 2010s, about 10 years ago. So in our industry, in the PropTech industry, we are already talking about the PropTech 3.0. So it depends on what kind of technologies you are using. So you name it, everything. Okay. So this year we are subject to the pandemic situation. Everything seems slowing down. The people are trapped in homes, and most of them are still working from home. And we can see that this is it really brings the impact on how real estate and construction sector runs. So we are happy to see it may accelerate the PropTech development as well, because in the previous years, for example, when we talk about blockchain, we were excited to see how blockchain can really help to disrupt the real estate transactions. For example, some companies are working hard on tokenization. For example, they use ICO, they use STO to do the things on tokenizing or securitizing the real estate investments. And some people also talk about how to use blockchain, for example, to transact a real estate by using just computers. Now, this year, even in Hong Kong, because of the pandemic situation, people cannot gather or queue up to buy flats. So some developers in Hong Kong are actually thinking about if it's possible to use blockchain for property sales. We are still discussing some of the developers in town for using blockchain and other payment system and also other platforms to complete the whole value chain of property sales and marketing. So it's exciting, and actually you can see in Asia Pacific region, the PropTech requires the government support very much, because especially in Asia, the governments here are quite parental. Without their support, the industry can hardly be accelerated. So taking Hong Kong as an example, the Construction Industry Council in Hong Kong is committed to working closely with the industry stakeholders to drive innovation and also some construction-related projects. They deploy the fund for the research, for the development, for the academia, for the industry guys to apply for the funding in order to boost up their PropTech or construction tech research and development. Taking Singapore government as an example, I think in 2018 they launched what they call Real Estate Industry Transformation Map. They assist or or they take the lead to open the data sources to facilitate the property management sectors and also the agency sectors for sharing the data. For Korean government, for example, they are also very aggressive. They're aggressive. They will invest about 33 billion in developing technologies for robotics, for AI, and also they're just like acting like the Singaporean government. They also assist or announce some initiatives by offering better accessibility to real estate data for the Proptech development. So in Proptech industry in these years, there are increasing number of smart monies chasing the Proptech companies. So globally speaking, in 2019, the Proptech funding was up to about 14 billion US dollars. And the trend is still keeping on. The number of deals is still increasing. And of course, Asia real estate companies have been collaborating with the tech firms to create products for them or work their solution within the corporate. As I know, because I talk to developers in Hong Kong every day, they have the increasing interest. They're so keen to explore how Proptech can help for their every value chain in their company. Especially this year, as I mentioned earlier, for property sales, that part, they are looking around for good Proptech solution. Even for the property management part, for the construction site management part, all of them are looking for some innovative solutions. Still talk on the Asia situation, GIC, they also start investing in Proptech since last year. So for the Southeast Asia situation, actually the Proptech scene here is quite vibrant. In the ASEAN region, they have the second highest number of deals and undisclosed funding across Asia Pac in 2019. So it's up to about 38 total deals, number of deals in 2019, and Southeast Asia actually accounts for about 12 of them. Here are some highlights of Proptech development in Asia in these 5 to 7 years. Say JLL, Jones Lang LaSalle, they launched the investment arm since 2016. They also work with different developers, the investors in mainland China, for example. They launched the Urban Lab earlier. There's also a very prominent and exciting example of an IPO in Hong Kong. It's a company called Ming Cloud, which is working on the cloud solution for real estate developers, especially for those in mainland China. Through the IPO exercise last month, they raised about 800 million US dollars. This is a very prominent example because this is probably the first Proptech company get listed as IPO exercise in Hong Kong. Talking about capital market in Hong Kong, there's another company called Net, which is also a listed company in Hong Kong. And this is a JV formed by two giants. One is Tencent and the other is Evergrande. Evergrande also literally they're named Hengda, okay, in China. So Ten is kind of a JV between the two big guys. They're keen on getting innovative solutions in the property management, the facility management, etc. We can also see there are increasing number of venture capital in Southeast Asia. For example, the Siri Venture of Sansiri in Thailand. We can see even there's some European real estate developers they're scouting around in Asia for some Proptech solution. So some characteristics of Proptech in Asia I can share with you guys. Say smart cities, a very important topic. If we talk about Proptech, somehow some governments, the academia here, they prefer talking it on the smart cities spectrum. So somehow it's not we don't need to be so rigid on the definition, but smart cities would be a main driver for Proptech here. And because of the young population in Asia, so any solutions that can cater the millennials' thought or needs, that would be great. That would be great. And I see the trend also in Asia as the developers here, the real estate companies here, they're actually looking for some co-creation products. That means in the past, maybe, okay, if you're a blockchain company, you can provide a single solution on blockchain. But actually nowadays, I mean, the developers here, they're actually working on blockchain plus, for example, mixed reality, plus AI, whatsoever. So I foresee that there will be increasing number of accelerator or what we call laboratory that can cultivate the co-creation that would be great for the real estate companies in the region. According to these statistics done by an European company, Unisu, they count the total number of Proptech companies in Asia is about 550. Okay, the situation is good, and you can see there are actually many new companies, for example, in China nowadays. But please be noted that because according to our observation, I think some of the Proptech verticals are actually saturated already in the mainland China. For example, the listing platforms, the O2O platforms, the multiple listing services, even for co-working sector is quite saturated. But on the contrary, I think if you really want to do something for the China market, you can consider about, say, data analytics, valuation, for example, mortgage and lending would be great, and some innovative solutions in property management that would be very welcome as well. So when we talk about China, we also need to talk about India. So Indian real estate market is expected to touch $1 trillion by 2030. So it is becoming the third largest market globally. So we foresee also there are increasing number of tech companies working in the sector, in the real estate sector. They try to capture the capital, working on the, for example, listing platforms, co-working and co-living as well. There's a Bangalore-based home rental startup called Next-Ray Technologies, which is presence in 15 cities in India. They're raising about $10 million US as part of this ongoing Series D funding round. So for the overall speaking, I think the Proptech situation here is great. We should focus on some Proptech solutions that can help the real estate companies for cost saving. For example, any solutions that can help for the planned and preventive maintenance, that would be nice. For affordable Proptech solutions for sustainability, that would be another important vertical as well. So anything that can deal with the energy saving, the energy management, the renewable energy in the building, the green building things, all of these, I can say that would be very welcome in the market. So what will happen, say, post-COVID-19? We foresee that, say, the retail leasing demand is expected to be driven by more by the pop-up stores. So any solution that contribute to the pop-up stores management, that would be nice. And we foresee also the urban space, it needs to be more flexible. and responsive to the change of the sudden change of the lifestyle of urban people. Say, for example, after the COVID-19, I consider people were seriously to think about or rethink about the way they live, they work, and they play. All right, so that's all for my sharing. I hope you like it. Thank you so much.
Okey, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sahabat-sahabat usahawan di luar sana. Nama saya Muhazrol bin Muhammad. Saya merupakan seorang ejen hartanah berdaftar dan juga merupakan co-founder kepada sebuah syarikat aerial property Sdn Bhd yang aktif dalam aktiviti jual, beli dan sewa hartanah di sekitar Lembah Kelang dan juga sekitar Malaysia secara keseluruhannya. Okey. So, hari ini saya ingin kongsikan kepada kalian semua 10 video yang wajib dibuat oleh seorang usahawan untuk membezakan kita daripada kita punya pesaing dan usahawan-usahawan lain dan memberi kita unfair advantage. Right? Seperti yang kita tahu, sekarang ni tahun 2020, hampir semua orang, terutamanya pelanggan kita, memiliki telefon pintar dan mereka memiliki akses kepada internet secara mobile. Oleh itu, mereka boleh melihat video secara mobile di mana-mana sahaja tanpa kos yang lebih. Maksud saya adalah di sini, internet adalah satu perkara yang very common sekarang. Cuma, kita tidak akan dapat manfaat kepada internet sepenuhnya sekiranya kita tidak mula buatkan video. Okey, biasa kalau sebagai seorang usahawan, you all di luar sana dan mana-mana usahawan di luar sana buat iklan dengan menggunakan gambar dan juga menggunakan copywriting tulisan, itu adalah sangat biasa. Boleh dikatakan 100% usahawan mampu melakukannya dengan handphone ataupun dengan telefon pintar mereka. Tetapi terutamanya di Malaysia, saya merujuk kepada pasaran Malaysia, terutamanya usahawan-usahawan yang mampu menghasilkan video ataupun usahawan-usahawan yang membuat video dalam marketing mereka masih lagi tidak ramai. So, ini peluang untuk kita. Siapa yang mulakan dulu, mereka yang akan mendapat manfaat terawal. Alright? So, mari kita tengok. Video pertama yang sesuai untuk dibuat adalah berkenaan dengan info produk. Okay. Kebiasaannya bila kita nak iklankan kita punya produk, kita akan ambil gambar dan kita buat tulisan, maka kita akan post sama ada di media sosial ataupun kita post di platform-platform periklanan. Itu biasa, semua orang boleh buat. Moving forward, lepas ni saya galakkan tuan-tuan mula mengambil video instead of gambar. It's a very simple video. Sebagai contoh, kalau mungkin kalian penjual jam tangan, just letak you punya jam tangan dekat atas meja dan you ambil you punya handphone dan ambil video untuk jam tangan tersebut dan gerakkan sikit lah. Okey, sebenarnya hampir semua orang yang memiliki telefon pintar mampu menghasilkan video yang berkualiti tinggi sehingga 4K sebenarnya, tetapi cuma kita tidak tahu yang video handphone kita mampu melakukan seumpamanya. Okey, itu video yang pertama. Video kedua yang kalian boleh buat adalah tutorial. Video tutorial tentang produk tersebut. Okey, contoh yang saya gunakan tadi adalah orang yang menjual jam. So, kita buat satu video tutorial macam mana untuk nak menggunakan jam tersebut. Alright, itu salah satu contoh. Dan dalam video tutorial itu juga kita boleh buat, kita boleh tunjukkan kepada orang ramai bagaimanakah produk ataupun servis yang kita berikan boleh memberi manfaat kepada mereka dan apakah direct kesan yang mereka boleh dapat dengan menggunakan produk ataupun servis kita. Right? Video kedua. Video ketiga, ini adalah sambungan kepada video pertama dan video kedua yang kita buat tadi, yang mana dua video pertama boleh digunakan sebagai kita punya tools untuk kita nak buat marketing, kita nak buat pemasaran. Okey, daripada kita punya aktiviti pemasaran dengan funnel, dengan kita punya teknik-teknik yang kita gunakan di internet, kita akan dapat enquiries daripada orang ramai dan mula bertanya tentang produk ataupun servis yang kita berikan. Okay, so the third video yang you patut buat adalah video untuk memberi respon pertama, first respon kepada kita punya klien bagi mereka yang mula bertanya tentang produk. Okay, kita boleh pre-recording, pre-recording video tersebut memberitahu tentang syarikat, terima kasih kerana berhubung dengan kita dan kita akan menghubungi mereka dalam masa segera. Okay, ataupun kalau bagi ejen hartanah ataupun ejen insurans yang ingin memberikan sentuhan yang lebih personal kepada klien kita, the moment kita dapat soalan daripada media sosial, kita just ambil handphone dan kita terus record. Sebagai contoh, Encik Abu yang bertanya dengan kalian. Alright, Encik Abu, terima kasih kerana berhubung dengan saya nak tanya tentang rumah yang saya sedang cuba jual tersebut. Selepas saya selesai urusan saya ni, saya akan berhubung dengan Encik Abu dan saya akan ceritakan tentang rumah tu. Terima kasih. Okay, it's a very simple video macam tu saja dan ia akan memberi impak yang besar dan membezakan you all dengan di antara satu ejen biasa dengan ejen yang luar biasa. Okay. So video keempat yang kalian boleh buat, this is a very powerful video, okay, iaitu video testimoni. Okay, kebiasaannya zaman sekarang ni orang nak beli apa saja, sama ada mobile telefon, sama ada dia nak beli gadget, sama ada dia nak beli buku, sama apa saja yang dia nak beli secara online ataupun secara offline, mereka akan buat kajian dulu tentang produk yang mereka nak beli. Okey, dan bila buat kajian, mereka suka dengar apa yang diperkatakan oleh orang yang pernah menggunakan produk tersebut ataupun orang yang pernah menerima servis. Okey, so when you have a lot of video testimony dan you masukkan dekat dalam media sosial ataupun you masukkan dalam platform periklanan you, lebih senang untuk you nak convince you punya klien untuk teruskan dengan servis yang you berikan. Very simple ways, senang saja, directly tanya dengan klien you untuk berikan video testimonial. Tidak semestinya sesuatu yang cantik videonya, cukup sekadar dia ambil handphone dia dan dia bagi tahu. Or kalau you buat training, you sediakan dekat luar kamera dan lampu dengan mic untuk nak dapatkan testimoni direct, ataupun you boleh tawarkan kepada klien you, for those yang bagi testimoni untuk servis yang you bagi, you akan bagi free gift ataupun you bagi discount for the next purchase yang mereka akan buat. That's the fourth video yang you kena buat. Okay, video kelima adalah video tentang info semasa. Okey, ini sangat berkait rapat dengan orang-orang yang melakukan servis-servis, terutamanya macam kami sebagai ejen hartanah. Pasaran hartanah sentiasa berubah-ubah dan kita sentiasa mendapat report daripada pihak-pihak berkerajaan tentang keadaan semasa pasaran hartanah. Okey, kebiasaannya report tersebut keluar dalam bentuk tulisan daripada NAPIK. So, sebagai seorang ejen hartanah yang luar biasa, seharusnya instead of you copy dan you paste dekat media sosial tentang pasaran semasa tersebut dengan tujuan untuk memberi authority kepada orang ramai yang you tahu tentang apa berlaku, adalah you record video. Okay, you dah dapat point apakah yang berubah, you just buat satu video simple and you post dekat you punya media sosial and boleh you hantar kepada you punya klien-klien sedia ada melalui platform-platform messenger yang lain. Alright, so that's the fifth video yang you kena buat untuk membezakan diri you dengan orang lain, dengan kompetitor. Okay, seterusnya video yang keenam adalah video untuk video confirmation kepada satu-satu temu janji yang akan kita buat dengan kita punya klien. Okay, so kebiasaannya sebelum kita nak pergi ke satu appointment, kita akan hantar message text kepada klien kita untuk confirmkan kehadiran dia. Selepas ini kita ubah, just ambil your handphone sekali lagi, Cik Abu, seperti yang telah kita janjikan, kita akan berjumpa petang ni pada pukul 5.30. Saya akan berada di sana pukul 5, so harap tuan boleh confirmkan sama ada jadi ataupun tak jadi, and send. Simple. Okay, video yang ketujuh pula adalah video untuk mengucapkan terima kasih, saying thank you to your client, because everybody love to be appreciated. Okay, for every time your client dapatkan you punya servis ataupun telah memberi produk you ucapkan terima kasih kepada mereka. Okay, sebagai contoh, seorang ejen penjual kereta, klien dah datang tengok kita punya kereta, kita dah cerita pasal spesifikasi, you berdiri dekat depan kereta tu, lepas dia orang dah balik rumah, you berdiri di depan kereta, you just grab your handphone sekali lagi, berlatar belakangkan kereta dan you cakapkan kepada Encik Abu, Cik Abu, Terima kasih kerana telah datang dan tengok pasal kereta ni. Okey, kalau tuan mungkin ada soalan lagi tentang kereta ni ataupun apa sahaja berkenaan dengan deal kita untuk membeli kereta ni, boleh tanya dengan saya dan insyaAllah saya akan usahakan untuk mendapat diskaun terbaik kepada tuan. Very simple. So, klien dia dah dapat experience yang luar biasa sewaktu dia viewing kereta tu dengan kita, sebab tu dia buat inspection dengan kereta tu bersama kita dan dia dapat follow up dalam bentuk video pula. So, you akan nampak berbeza dengan ejen kereta yang lain. Okay? Video yang ke-8 pula adalah video ucapan hari jadi. Ini biasa, semua orang dah buat dah untuk memberi ucapan hari jadi, tetapi selalunya mereka menghantar e-card. Okey, e-card yang bersifat general, maknanya e-card yang kita hantar kat semua orang. Kita tulis daripada logo, ada logo syarikat, and then ucapan hari jadi dan doa kepada mereka. Okay, itu biasa. Moving forward tuan-tuan puan, instead of you hantar e-card, you hantar video ucapan hari jadi dan you boleh sampaikan message dengan lebih baik. Okey, for those for those estate agent ataupun insurance agent ataupun mereka-mereka yang memberikan servis, lebih baik kalau video tu you customize. You ambil dengan kamera handphone you sendiri dan you hantar kepada mereka directly dan menyebut nama mereka dan doakan kepada mereka direct. You akan memberi kesan yang luar biasa kerana pada waktu hari jadi biasanya orang akan tinggi emosi dia, dan bila dia dapat video daripada one of dia punya vendor ataupun dia punya service provider, mereka akan ingat you sampai bila-bila. Okay? Video ke-9 berkaitan juga dengan video ucapan hari jadi, tetapi ini lebih broad sikit. Kita buat video ucapan-ucapan yang bersifat general. Contoh, ucapan selamat tahun baru, ucapan hari raya, ucapan Christmas, ucapan Chinese New Year and Deepavali. Sama juga konsep dia, instead of kita hantar e-card, kita hantar video ucapan kepada klien-klien kita. Dan last sekali tuan-tuan dan puan, mungkin sekiranya kalau tuan-tuan dan puan, usahawan-usahawan di luar sana selalu kerap membuat event-event atau ataupun program-program yang bersama dengan you punya pelanggan, instead of you hantar jemputan dengan menggunakan card ataupun menggunakan e-greeting card, you hantar jemputan dengan video dan you boleh customizekan video tu. You sebut nama klien you individually, siapa yang you ingin jemput datang. Ini sangat sesuai dipakai oleh ejen hartanah, terutamanya apabila kita buat launching pasal projek-projek kita dan kita rasa ada beberapa orang klien kita yang mungkin berpotensi untuk membelinya, maka kita buat video spesifik untuk mereka dan jemput mereka datang. Right? So tuan-tuan, itu 10 video yang seharusnya wajib dibuat oleh semua usahawan bermula daripada sekarang, daripada tahun 2020 ini. Kerana apa? Kerana di Malaysia masih belum biasa lagi usahawan membuat marketing menggunakan video. Mostly masih lagi menggunakan gambar dan tulisan. Dan jika sekiranya kita yang mulakan sekarang, maka kita akan ada unfair advantage berbanding dengan pesaing-pesaing kita di luar sana. Right? Semoga tuan-tuan dan puan semua semakin cemerlang di dunia dan di akhirat. Semoga apa saja impian you akan tercapai. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Hello everyone, I am back to sing my last and final song. I hope you had an amazing journey and experience. This last song is something very special to me. It's the first song I ever learned how to sing and perform. So without further ado, let's begin and hope you enjoy. Da-da-da. Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. Tried to be chill, but you so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me. Divine intervention, I reckon it's to get my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate. no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Do 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 do. Hey, hey, hey. Open up your mind, see like me. Open up your planes and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our faith. I'm yours. Do 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 do. Won't you come and scooch on over close at the air, and I will nibble your ear. Scooby ba da ba ba. Ooh, 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 ooh. I've been spinning way too long, checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards. Tried to see it clearer, but my breath fogged up the glass. So I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I'm saying is there ain't no better reason to reach yourself with vanity. Just go with the seasons, it's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your planes and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll find that the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This one, this is our fate. I'm yours.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on the third day of the ADAPT International Convention. I hope that you've gained the insight and knowledge you require to empower you and your business. And we look forward to seeing you again on the fourth day of the ADAPT International Convention. Have a wonderful day.